Hi, so I just wanted to make kind of an update video about kind of the stuff that I've been thinking about lately. Um, Lately I've really been disliking my body. It's very annoying. I mean, I guess don't know why I'm doing that. I'm on a wheelie chair, so I guess lots of people go through phases like that, but it's just like sometimes and I hate that there's mirrors everywhere. Like, do you notice that? Does anyone notice that? Because I swear to God, like, I can't turn anywhere and not see my reflection somewhere, and it's so annoying. Especially because mirrors, I find, are always lying. Like, there's always, like, some mirrors make you look thinner, and other mirrors make you look chunky, and other mirrors show cellulite, and depending on the lighting and everything, and it's just, like, driving me insane-o. Particularly at the gym. At the gym, you can't go to any gym without being, like, surrounded by mirrors as you're trying to, like, go on the treadmill or whatever, and stuff's jiggling, and you're like, oh, I hate my body. So that's kind of what I've been going through. And sometimes I just try to tell myself, like, all these thoughts are in your head. It's not like, next week, if you feel better about your body, it's not like it's really changed that much, or maybe there's some sort of water retention. I don't know. It's hard to deal with stuff like that, especially now that I'm like, at kind of the weight that my body's most comfortable at, where I can enjoy my life and not be hungry all the time and actually concentrate and have energy. And I personally still don't like this. Like, I don't like this weight at all. And it's taken, years and years of me trying to fight the urge to not diet. And a lot of the times I fail and I go on diets, and it's just not the greatest thing. And the other thing I was thinking about the other night, I went for a drink with my boyfriend, and we were talking, and he brought up something that was kind of made me think a lot about, I guess, support groups that are kind of inclusive and exclusive kind of support groups, like a community like YouTube, where there are lots of people going through the same thing, and people are sharing experiences and supporting each other, and they all come together in kind of a unified experience that everyone shares, like an eating disordered experience, and we all know what we're talking about when we say certain things, and we all know how hard it can be, and it's almost like we share this experience together, but other people don't. So we expect, like, other people don't share this experience, and they don't know what it's like. The reason we were talking about it is because my boyfriend Tenzin is he's kind of against this idea that anyone can have an exclusive experience that other people don't understand, and he thinks that everyone has some sort of, I guess, from what I understand what he's saying, everyone has some sort of experience that that even if you categorize experiences as different, they're actually kind of the same thing. So even if I go through, an experience that was an eating disorder, and 3 years of my life I wasted away, he thinks that similarly other people that were dealing with other issues, even just like issues where they hate themselves or depression or whatever, can have the same experience. I'm not making sense. Anyways, he explains it. I'm always like, I don't know what you're talking about. But what was interesting is that from his point of view, he says that these kind of groups, they seem to be really helpful at first, just when you're starting off recovery, but he thinks that ultimately they don't lead to a full recovery, or that if the person actually wants to get better and doesn't want to identify anymore with that experience, then groups that are exclusive to everyone else, but those that have experienced it, are not helpful anymore. And I kind of agree with that. And I really thought to myself, like, I'm at a point where I can say that I'm like 99, well, not 90, but like 94% recovered. And so I think to myself, why is it that I surround myself with eating disorder stuff? Like, why do I still need to go to groups and to a psychologist and watch YouTube videos of people who have the same stuff. And it really dawned on me that the two reasons are, number one, the 3 years that I struggled with this were so deeply affecting that they've completely affected who I am. They've totally shaped the person that I am today. More so than any other experience I've ever had, probably. Including my work and going to Africa and studying primates and all that. Dealing with an eating disorder and, going through it and kind of whirlpooling into the despair of it and then coming out of it. This experience itself has affected me more than anything else, and I don't want to just forget it. That's the thing. I want to remind myself every single day that I did it and that I can do it more, and that I'm, and just kind of remind myself that I did get to a certain weight where I could have, even now as I'm like, I hate my body, I just have to remind myself, you're never going to be happy. That area of yourself that, the physical stuff that you think is so terrible is never going to go away. You're always going to hate yourself, and you're going to hate yourself even more when you're really like in the depths of the eating disorder. So that's the first reason. And the second reason why I can't let go of surrounding myself by eating disordered stuff, like pro-recovery eating disordered stuff. The second reason is that I'm still afraid that I'm going to relapse, and I'm afraid that if I don't keep a close eye on myself and a close eye on and a check, like to make sure I'm checking myself every day of like eating disordered behaviors, and mentally, if I don't keep track of myself, I'm scared that I'll relapse and that I'll go back to how things used to be slowly. But that's probably my biggest fear, because my last relapse was like that. I just didn't really pay attention, and before I knew it, I was, really struggling again, and I was having the same depressing thoughts of not wanting to live anymore and all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm just so afraid that if I'm not constantly like, I'm in recovery, like if I don't have that, then I'm scared that that things will go back to how they were, and I don't want that, because that means I would have to, my life would be ruined or something. So those are the reasons. I know that at some point I will have to let go of it all. I'm not sure when that'll be. Hopefully once I stop thinking about it, and once I'm caught up in other stuff, like maybe when I have a family, or I really want to adopt a kid, so maybe when I adopt a kid and I don't have time to think about that, about my stupid eating disorder stuff, then I can let go. I'm not really sure when it's going to happen. For now, I'm happy where I am. But it was a little hurtful when he basically pointed out, without really meaning to, I guess, but when Tenzin pointed out that by surrounding myself with recovery stuff, over the long term, it's not necessarily going to lead to my recovery, and I thought that was really interesting. So, anywho, all right, I've rambled on and on. Yeah, okay, bye-bye.